Hello peeps. I was messing around, checking around the bikes like you do. It's Christmas Eve, it's so mild, bloody amazing. And I was messing around in the garage, getting out of the way like you do. And I was looking around the oil, and the front tyre is splitting, it's cracking. So I thought I better put another tyre on there. Look, you can see, look, it's all cracked there, swollen out. Oh, look at that, yeah. So you might think, oh, that's a shit tyre. Not really. Someone's had the best out of this tyre. And look, I run second-hand tyres. Somebody gave me this. So many thanks, Neil. You've kept me going. Now, I put this tyre on. It was, I think it was the beginning of the summer. You've had it in about 8 months. I took a Tu-bliss out of here. And I don't know if any of you remember me moaning about the Tu-bliss splitting around the valve. Now, I love Tu-bliss, I really do. I've got them in just about everything. I really do, because you can drop the pressure right down to sort of 3-4 psi when it's really bad. So I've done something different in here. I'll show you in a minute. And on the other bikes, I've just inherited a bike, a Beta. Well, I haven't inherited, I bought it, just got another bike, and that's got Mousses on, which are alright. But I went somewhere the other day where I would have dropped the pressure to about 5 psi, but I couldn't. It was so muddy, so shitty. So in this one, I've got a tube with a difference. Give it a bit of encouragement. Careful not to nip the tube. I just put a bit of silicone spray on one bit just to start it. The next tyre I'm putting on is a real shit tyre, but it's got a lot of tread on it. But for Eeyore goes anywhere. Really good on tyres. No tyre grip in here, don't need it. What else is there to do on Christmas Eve? There'll be a few people who say you're doing that wrong, but this is the way I prefer. I find it easiest, especially on the trail. You stop talking now. Tell people what you're doing. Yeah, so put the valve at the bottom, bash the rim into the bottom of the tyre, and then pull like hell, and it'll come out. There we go. Tube's still in the tyre. So that's one tube, heavy duty tube. first heavy duty tube, and it's inside another heavy duty tube, and they've both been rubber greased, and it's something which we used to do years and years ago. The likelihood of getting a puncture through two heavy duty tubes, both greased with red rubber grease, is minimal. You know, if I'm unlucky enough to get a puncture, I'll take the tube out, bit of petrol out the tank onto that, clean it up and patch it, then put it back in. Now, I've been using this all summer, probably about 8 months. Sometimes I'm running it at 6-7 psi, deliberately really, to see if I can mess it up and see if I get a pinch flat. Well, the likelihood of getting a pinch flat through two slippery tubes is not likely, is it? It's not likely to happen. Now I will put some more rubber grease, just a little, because there's still quite a lot on here. Regarding the outer tube, I didn't just cut it down the centre. I took a strip out about that big, so 2 cuts all the way around. So by doing that, it doesn't foul so much when you're putting it on, and doesn't get nipped on the rim so much. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of red rubber grease, and the easiest way is to put it inside the new tyre, and then I'll show you how I do it from there on. This is a cheap old tyre. It's as hard as hell. It's again, someone gave it to me. It's got a lot of tread on it, but this tyre is as stiff as hell. Right, here we go. Oh, it's as hard as hell, this tyre. So we're going to put a bit of red grease in there. Shitloads. And that will make everything slippery. Remember, it's already got some on the outer casing anyway. Now everyone thinks, the f***ing hell is he doing? How cheap is that? Well, it's just an old technique which used many years ago, and Mousses are brilliant. Yeah, they're really amazing. But I'm retired now, so I can't afford Mousse prices, you know, so I'll stick with these labour intensive ways of doing things. Nah, it's not that bad. Plus, when somebody notices on the bank statement, what is this you've just bought? Yeah, this tyre is not the best, but for the winter it'll do. We're getting there. I think it's probably easier putting it on the tube, but it's a bit more messy. That's that bit done. I'll put the valve back in. Put a bit of air in the tube. Yeah, that's good. Just have a little look, see what the grease is like. I might put a little bit more on there. Yeah, make it nice and slippery. Yeah, look at that. Ew. Also, I saw it on a short this week, and American outfit are doing it. Right. A bit twisted. So they're 2 heavy duty tubes, One's an old one which has been repaired, and one's a brand new one, so there's quite a lot of rubber there, quite a thickness of rubber. So look at that, ready to go. Now look at this tyre is shit, absolute shit. So I could even go ultra heavy duty, but if I bought 2 brand new tubes from where I get them from, my mate Eric, it would probably be less than 30 quid. So you think about how much Tu-bliss is. I love Tu-bliss. Tu-bliss is my favourite way of doing it, but while these valves are still splitting, I've got them in another bike, and if they look like they're going to fail, this is what I'm going to do. Go back in time. God, man, that is a... So once I can get that in there, that's half the battle. I don't know what mousses are to buy, but they're out of my reach price wise. Plus you can't let them down like when it's really bad, and you don't get any notice when they're going to go. But yeah, they're great things. I must admit, on the cross trainer they seem to be pretty good, except when it's really muddy. I like to let things down. It's probably the trials rider in me. So looking at that in there now, you've got your tubes and the other one's just below it, look. Yeah, so all the way around I just checked that. That's looking good. Where's his tyre? Made in Vietnam. Yeah, that's going to be a good tyre, isn't it? But look at them knobbles. Yeah, they're going to be good. Yeah, be good in the mud anyway. That'll do me. Is it directional? I doubt it. Pull the valve out a bit. It is really slippery. So slippery. And then put the valve in first. There we go. Make sure you put your nut on to hold it, but just put it on a couple of turns so you can have a bit of flexibility. Poke that back in. Right, so where's the valve? There. Let's start cracking it in. Quite often you can get both sides in quite a way before you need one of them fancy anacondas, look. How much are they? Oh, so put this one in there. Let the machine do the work. Chubby gave me this tyre fitting gadget on condition that I change his tyres for him. I think that's a good deal, actually. Yeah, it's nearly both sides of this rim are going on at once. Tyre are going on at once. Look at that. For the last little bit. And just that bit there. Yeah, I've got a bit under here which has got to go on. And obviously this is the bit where you can nip your tube, but you've got the right levers and the technique. I could probably push that on there now. No, I told you it was a toughie. Here we go. Right. Good to go. We'll pump this up really high, push it onto the rim, and then I can run it at 5 upwards, I would say. So I'm basing that on how stiff the tyre is. I might have a softer tyre and I might have to run 10. And always have a valve extractor dust cap. I better check it. Yep. So what do you reckon? Useful tip or utter bollocks? Right?